YouTube. It is after midnight. January 1st, 2026. Happy New Year. Alright, what are we doing? We're going to play some Wordle. Because I live a super exciting life. Oh yeah, I tried playing the Sudoku thing, but with the autocomplete on. And even for an easy puzzle, I did it in 3 minutes, 3:19. But I tried the hard puzzle, and even that one I did in 20 minutes, where normally it takes me like an hour just to do a medium. Okay, where's Wordle? What did I do? I started conversation, I feel like. Okay, there we go. Bam, new Wordle. I'm gonna be the first one in the group to play it for a change, because it's just after midnight, fireworks are going off. What the hell do you mean? Why? Don't do that. Do not have errors. I'm ready to be first. Go, go, go. Go? Maybe. So now I have like 3 games I can play. I can play Wordle, I can play Connections, and I can play Sudoku. And if I play it with the cheaty autocomplete, which isn't really cheaty, but it does a lot of the work that I'm doing for me, then I could do like all 3 levels of it. Look, there are no friends. I'm friendless. What is something for a New Year party? We are partying. Very much not a party person. Ooh, we got the A. Weird. We could be a union. No, because that has 2 ends. We could be an onion. No, that also has 2 ends. We could be unite. No, because we already have a T. Unity. Also, already have it. Alright, screw that. Fun. Wait, is fungi a word? Fungi, definitely. F-A. F-A. Fault? F-A. Except there's no that. Give me a second. Fast. We need 5 letters, though. Fault, but no U. F-A-O. Fallout, but that doesn't fit. I do like the Fallout TV show. Except, I started watching the 2nd season, and I would recommend just waiting until it all comes out. Favor. Wait, it could be favor, except it can't. Fable. No, except, no, we do have an E. It could be a fable. Bam. Fable. Super easy. We got it. Now, I wish that I could just do the ones in here, but I have to go over to the browser, which we can do. So we close this. Look, I was first. Bam. I did it. Okay, I thought they were still awake. Alex should be asleep, hopefully. Except it's New Year's, but I think they're like 2 hours ahead. Who knows? That's none of my business anyways. What are we doing? We are doing Connections. January 1st, 2026. SS, your social security is under $3,900 a month. It is. Mine's 0. Then we could play this for 75% off. We could peel something. We could shell something. We could... You can definitely shuck something. Hold on. You can hex something. Oh, you can skin it for sure. Bam. Buff. In the buff, Scotch. Okay, you can hex, you can curse, you can hound, you can charm. Bam. 1 away, not hound. You could buff. Bam. These are all things that, like, support character could do. No, what the hell do you mean? Huh. Scotch. Is that a thing? It's not hound, it's not buff. Can't be rat? Scotch. 1 away. What the hell do you mean 1 away? Alright, let's forget about that for a second, but hex, charm, curse. I do think it's all of these. You could head. Alright, quick pause, but I'm back. You could head, fingers. Buff. You can hound. A hound, a rat, a fly. Wait a second. A hound, a rat, a fly. Fingers, spell. You can spell something. Nut, scotch, buff. I don't know. Ways to get somewhere. A fly. You can buff out something. You can spell out a word. You can buff out a dent, not a dent, but a scratch, I guess. A beer can have head. Scotch. Think about this. Scotch. There's like something with fingers of whiskey, I think. Head, beer, something like that? No, I don't think it's those. The one that's bugging me the most is that I haven't got this. You can hex, you can charm, you can curse, you can fly. Bam, fly. No, what do you mean? And it wasn't even one away. Oh no. Charm, curse, hex, spell. Why did I not do spell? When spell is like obvious obvious magic. Enthusiast. Equivalent. Rat is an enthusiast? Hound, yeah. Head, yeah. Buff, yeah. What is rat? Oh, butterscotch, butternut, butterfly. What is a butterfly? Oh, like a butterfly. Okay. Butterfingers, the candy. Okay. That kicked my butt. I do kind of like it, though. So, I could try doing it with the cheaty thing because it's quick, and we could work through all three of these and see how quick it goes. Or I could just do it on medium without the cheaty. I'm going to try it with the... I mean, it's not cheaty, but in my mind, it's kind of cheaty. So we're doing it with auto candidate. So with that, all I do is I come in here, I hit 2, I hit 5. It's not super exciting because I'm not even thinking. I'm just looking for the numbers that it gives me, which, especially for the easy one. 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7. Like, I'm not thinking at all. This is my brain turned off. 7, 2, 9. On the hard one, you do have to think a little bit, but not nearly as much as I did when I'm trying to do it myself. 9, 6. You are a 6. You 2 and 4. Okay, wait. Are we at the point when I have to think? I don't think for easy there is a point when I have to think. I think it's all just fill in the blanks. 9, 2, 8, and 5, and 2, and 4. We did it in 1 minute and 4, and that's just because that's how long it takes me to hit on all the things. So with auto candidate mode, easy is way too easy. I don't think I would do this regularly. Minute 4, but I could try for under a minute. But it doesn't make me happy. All right, so now we're gonna do medium. I have not had a quick medium yet. That's the quickest by far I've had for easy, though. I've only done 2 of them. The other one took me like 3 sewing, I think. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So, we're doing auto candidates, which means what? That we have a 1 and a 9 there, 8 and a 9, 1 and a 3, 1 and a 3. That means I can rule out this one. I can rule out this one. And I can rule out this 3. And I can rule out this 3, which means 6 and 9, which means that you rule out that, rule out that. You become a 5, you become a 7. From there. So I do have to work a little bit for this. 149, 149, 19. Darn. I am gonna have to work. All right. So 1 and 3. But it still does a lot of the work for me. 1 and 3, 6 and 9. 6 and 9 down here. means that you can't be the 6 or the 9, I think. You are weird, though. 1 and 3, 1 and 3. 1, 3, 4, but you're the only one that can have a 4, so you have to be the 4. Yeah, it's so much easier when I don't have to think about filling them in. That is one nice thing, is suddenly all I'm concentrating on is the logic, not actually, like, figuring out which numbers go where. But it's way too easy if I'm just doing this part. I probably would get better at the game, though, doing it this way. At least somewhat. 2, 9. 2, 8, 6, 9, 2, 8, 9, 2, 7. 1, 9. 4, 9, 4, 9. Okay, so I think you have to be the 1. Yeah. So these 4, 9, 4, 9, which tells me that you can't be the 9, so you have to be the 6. You're the 6. These have to have the 9 in it. They have the 2, the 9, the 8. Does that tell me anything? Not yet. 2, the 9, the 8. Okay. And I just have to look for if any of these open up as I do it. And pay attention, which is hard to do. So 8, 9. 1, 4, 8, 9. Oh, and there's a 2. You have a 4 and a 9. Are these the only spots that can be? No, the 8s. You can also be the 8. All right. So, it's also easier if I'm not doing it on video, really. Because then all I'm doing is thinking about, I don't know. It's just easier if I'm not trying to think and talk. 8 and 9. 4, 8, 1, 4, 5, 1, 2, 6, 2, 5, 8, 2, 4. What am I looking for right now? I'm looking for things like these being the same, 2, 5, 8, 2, 5, 8, 2, 7, 8. So these two are the 7, which tells me that there's no other 7 in here. But that didn't actually help. Are these also the 2? Maybe. Not necessarily. Huh. So down here, this has to be the 5, which tells me that there's no 5 in here, but we already knew that. Darn. All right, so this has to have the 5 in it. This has to have the 7 in it. We just don't know where the 8 and the 2 are. Interesting. I don't think that helps me yet. Ooh. Lots of 2s right here. And then a 9 or an 8. If I could figure out the 2, that would be helpful. But I can't. All right, from there, 2, 7. This one doesn't have many in it. 2, 7, 3, 2, 4, 3. Four and 8. 8 and 9. 4 and 9, 4 and 9. I'm just kind of at the point when I don't know how to progress from here. I'll figure it out. It just takes me a second staring at it. It takes me a while staring at it. 3, 4, 6. 3, 4, 6. 3, 4, 6. Oh, I see it. You're the only one that can have a 1. Why is that? Because this rules out that. Okay. So, now that we know, if I undo that for a second, you had a 2, 3, 4, 6. 2, 3, 4, 6. 2, 7. 2, 7. You can have an 8. 2, 3, 4. All right. That didn't help too much. Ooh, unless it did. Wait, did it help with these? Undo it again? Hit a 1. Yeah, it did. It ruled out 2 1s over here. So we now know that there's 1 in these two. Okay. We're looking for other isolated numbers like that one had. This not... no. This 3, this 3, this 3. So the 3 is in this row. 1, 2. 3 is up here. There's no other 3s in here. The 4 can be any of these. 5 is right there. 6. 1 and 3 right here. 5, 5. Wait, are you the only 6? So now it just becomes like searching for the only one that has numbers. Or has certain numbers, which isn't as interesting to me. But, I mean, that's what it always was, I guess. Undo that really quick. 6. Okay, so that didn't change too much. 2, 5, 8. 2, 5, 8. Darn. Because these both have 2, 5, 8, I can't really determine what this number is. Or at least I can't have, like, an easy guaranteed... That's the answer. Oh, you're the one. You're the one, which means that you're not the one, which means that you are the one. Which means that you are the one. Is that all of the ones? That is. Now, for 2s, the 2s are in the middle here. 2s are all over the place. It would be cool if I could get some 2s. It's probably not going to happen. What about 3s? Lots of 3s. What about... Ooh, these ones are the 3s. Not that helpful. The 8s. I've only got 2 9s so far. Ooh, but there's only 2 spots a 9 can be right here. If I could find something else. No. 2 7, 2 7. Alright, so look for more of them where it's an isolated number. So like these 2 5s are almost isolated. So we know, we've already said, we know that these are 5s, we know that there's a 7 up here. 5s and 7s. That doesn't really help. It would if a different one of these had a 7, or if a different one of these had a 5. Alright. 2 3, 2 9. So this can be a 9, or this can be a 9. Interesting. Any of these 3 can be a 2. But the 4 has to be up here. But there's no other 4s. Huh. 4 has to be up here. And then either the 2, the 3, or the 9 has to be up here. That doesn't help, sadly. Okay. Still just staring at things. These 2 8s don't help. None of these help. This is where I need to learn the tricks to solve things. 258. 258. Both of you are 258s. 2448. Don't think that helps. 1, 2. So we need a 2 down here somewhere. But it can't be right here. There's a 2 between you three. Then there's a 4 between you and you. Then there's a 5 between you and you. And then there's an 8 between you, you, and you. And with all of that in mind, there's a 4 and an 8 needed for both of these. There are a lot of 4s all over the place that are missing. The 1s are done. The 2s I have 3 of. With 3 2s, it feels like I should be able to do something, but I can't. What about 3s? With 4 3s, I don't see anything. What about 4s? Don't have many 4s. Huh. Okay. What about 5s? So this is going slower than the hard one was for me, which is kind of interesting. 2 5s right here. 2 5s right here. How is there only the 1 5 right here? Oh, I see. Wait, then that makes it super simple. And I think that just made it so that there's only 1 5 here, so all I had to do was find that spot. But it doesn't even feel like I solved that. It just feels like, oh, I finally noticed the one that had a number that stands out. Huh. So there's 2 5s here, 2 5s here. 2 3, 2 8, 2 4. What was this one before? Who knows? 4 8, 2 8, 2 4. So we need a 2, a 4, and 8. Huh. 8 9, 8 9. But there are other places those 8 9s can be. There are lots of places those 4s can be. I don't think I can say anything about those yet. So we went all the way up to 5 so far. 6s. Ooh, I have a lot of 6s. I'm missing 3 of these. These ones were close. Ooh, wait. Oh, these give me the answer. Yeah, if this has to be a 6, then we know that this is the 6, this is the 9. That should make all of the rest of this easier. Should. We'll see. Maybe not. 3 4 8 2 8. Hey, we have this whole column. No, this whole row. Yes. 2 7 2 7 8 2 8. What the hell? So all we know for sure is that the 7 is up here. And then either a 2 or an 8 is down here. But we don't know which. Alright, not helpful. And then what? Look at these 2s. I don't think there's enough to look at with the 2. Wait, is there? You're a 2. Oh, you're a 2. Does that tell me where this 2 is? No. Wait, that breaks things. How did I just break things? Oh no, you guys can be a 2. So the 2 has to be either this one or this one. So this one cannot be a 2. That's why I thought I broke things. So these two could be a 2. 2, 2, 3, 7. Darn. We do know that these are 2, though. And we know that these are 7. So this square, we have 1, we have 2 3s. 4. Okay, I don't think that did too much for me, but maybe it did. Wait, okay, there's 2 9s. The 5s I have not figured out yet. All right, let's go 9s. I don't have too much with 9s yet. 8s. 8s are still kicking my butt. Except, wait a second, we know a tiny bit about 8s. Wait, do we? If there's no 8, yeah, there's no 8s here, so this 8, 8, which means you are not an 8, which means that you are a 4. Okay, cool. So we hit 4. Now, that helps. 7, 9, 8, 9, 8, 9. So this one cannot be the 9. So this one has to be the 7. Which means 3, 8, 9, 3, 9, 3, 8. Doesn't help. But we're getting closer. We just did a 7. Just did a 7. 8, 9, 8, 9. That means that you can't be a 9, so you are a 4. So you are a... Nope. Go back. So you are a 9. What does that mean? All right. 4, 7, 4, 6, 7, 4, 6, 7. And so we know these have the 3, 8, 9. These have the 4, 6, 7. Okay. How did those not get me anything more than they did? Don't know yet. So we have 3, we have 3, we have 3, we have 3. We have 8, we have 8. We have 8, we have 8, we have 8. What about these 7s? 7s, 7s, 7s. I don't think that helps. I have the 2 sets of 5s. Wait, you're a 2. Oh, that helps. And then you're an 8. Yeah, that's where just being able to look and see the numbers that they updated without me having to go and update them all makes this so much simpler. That part right there feels super cheaty. 9, 2, 7, 3, 4, 9. Like, eventually I would have filled in those numbers, but God, it would have taken me forever. Where here, it's just, oh, wait, hit the wrong number. That was supposed to be an 8. It's just like fill in the blanks now, and it all just comes together. 3, 7, 2, 8, 7, 7, 9, 4, 3, 9, 8, 6, 4, 6, and 3. That is so much less satisfying, but under 20 minutes. I mean, that's better. I think I did under 20 minutes with a hard one, though, previously, off video. So let's go try and do the hard one. How long is this video? We are only at 29 minutes somehow. All right, let's go. So, auto candidate. I'm not planning on doing this too much in the future with the auto candidate, but we'll see. Maybe I'll end up doing it. We have a 3 and a 4, a 3 and a 5. All right. We have a bunch of 9s. Not too many 2s. Only 2 2s. Only 2 4s. 2 2s and 2 4s. A 1 and a 9, a 1 and a 4, a 1 and a 2, a 1 and a 2, which means you're not a 1 and a 2, you're not a 1 and a 2, you're not a 1 and a 2. 5, 6, 8. 5, 6, 8. 1 and a 4. 1 and a 9. You can't all have a 1. You just can't. Okay. So now, 4, 6. All right, now for the 9s. There's not too much I know yet. There are 2 9s up here. So there has to be a 9 in one of these 2 spots. There are a bunch of 6s. There are a bunch of 2s. There's only a couple 1s. No, there's a bunch of 1s. Okay. Bunch of 9s. Bunch of 9s all over the place. Forget about 9s. Go to 8s. Okay, just as bad with 8s. So for 8s, do I see anything? Not immediately. Okay, let's go to 7s. I mean, at least there's one more 7. With the 7s, these 2. Four of them over here. So these 2 are kind of interesting. They are. Wait. Oh, this 8. No, this 6. Darn. I feel like I can almost do something over here, but not quite. All right, so the 7s aren't that helpful. What about the 6s? Where are 6s? With the 6s, we know that these 2 have a 6 in there. Huh. Is that useful? Not too much. Right? 5s. With the 5s, I don't see much that's helpful. With the 4s, why did I work backwards instead of just starting with the 1s? Because now it's looking like it's going to be something with the 1s, probably. Ooh, wait a second. You're the only 4. Okay, that's helpful. 4. Now, with that, you become the only 4. Which tells me things about that 1 a little bit. Huh. It does. It tells me that you can't be a 1. You can't be a 1. You can't be a 1. 1, 5, 8. 1, 5, 8, and a 6. Not helpful. Not helpful yet. 1, 2, 6. 1, 2, 6. Also 9s in here. Okay. So I had just done 4. I think so. So this could be a 4. This could be a 4. Ooh, these 2 can be a 4, which tells me that you can't be a 4. And you can't be a 4. But you 2 can. Four, 4. Okay. 3s. Let's go to 3. With the 3s, do I see any that stand out to me as being interesting? Not really. Not immediately. All right, what about the 2s? This is supposed to be hard, so it's good that I'm struggling a little bit. 2s. With the 2s, there are 3 of them up here. 3 candidates. Ooh, there's only 2 candidates right here. That's interesting. And then there's only 2 candidates right here, which tells me that you can't be a 2. Does that help? Not really. Ooh, but we have 1 and 2, which means that you also can't be a 1, and you also can't be a 1. That does help, because now you're a 9. You're a 3. How much does that help? Not enough. 1 and 2, 1 and 2. I just got a 3 and a 9? I think so. Ooh, wait a second. Then that makes you... No, there's 2 9s. It does tell me there's a 9 right here. 3 5 3 4. But these also have the 3s. All right. What about this column? So this column could be a 1, a 5. Can it be a 6? Yes, the 6s are right there. So we know the 6s, the 7s. Could be a 7. Ooh, there are not many spots for a 7. Okay. 7 is kind of interesting. 7, 8. We said 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. All in this row. All in this column. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the 5 has to be right here. The 7s. 7 or 7. This one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. 6. The 7s are interesting. The 8s. Thought I had something for a second with the 8s, but not quite. The 8s. Wait, do I have something with the 8s? No. All right. Let's look at these again. So the 1s, I thought I had made more progress with the 1s than I have. I have not made much progress with the 1s. The 2s. The 3s. Fours. There are a lot of 4s already on the board. But they don't help too much. Wait, you have just a 6 by itself. Oh, super simple. And then you have a 7. I just have to notice those, like, solo ones. And then that's it. So we just did undo, undo. I just did 6 here, 7 here. What else do I know about these 6s? Ooh, we know that you're a 6, and that's with a 1 and an 8, which means that you're an 8. 1, 3, 9, 2, 9. So you're not a 9. You're not a 9. You're the only 1. You're the only 3. You're the only 5. Seven, 8, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. So the 7 and the 9 have to be here. The 8 does not, but that does tell me that you're not a 9. It does tell me that you're not a 7. Two, 7, 8, 9. And we do need a 2 in here. Wait, does that have to be the 2? That does have to be the 2. There has to be a 1 in here. And there has to be a 5 in here, so you can't be the 8. So we do need an 8 between these two. And we already have the 1 and the 5, so you can't be the 1, you can't be the 5. So you, to quick clicking that, you're the 8. You can't be the 1, you can't be the 5, so you're the 7. All right, so now from there, did we get any of these where they're nice and easy? Kind of, but not really. 1 and 8 with these means that there's no 8 right here. There's no 8 right here. There's no 8 right here. Okay. There's a 4 and a 6. There's a 2 and a 6. There's a 6 and a 9. The 7s are kind of interesting. The 4s are kind of interesting. The 2s are kind of interesting. One, 2, 5, 6. That means that you're an 8. You being an 8. What else does that tell me about the other 8s? Nothing. Not yet. A 1 and an 8 right here means that there has to be an 8 right here. 8. So with that, does that give me anything helpful? No. Not really. 1 and 2, 6 and 9, 2 and 6, 4 and 6, 2 and 3 and 7. 2, 3, 7. The 3s. Did the 3s tell me anything? They tell me that this can't be a 3. They tell me that this can't be a 3. Does that help? Could. So we have a 3, 6, 7, and a 4. Wait. Why do I think that? Because none of these can be a 3. So the 3 has to be right here. If the 3 is right here... So it's between these two spots for the 3. And you're a 4 or a 6. I don't know what that tells me yet. All right, keep looking. So we need an 8 down here. We need a 7 down here. We need a 1 down here. We need a 2 down here. Ooh, but the 2 is right there. It's either this or this. That's kind of interesting. Too bad there's no other 2s. The 3, wait. Oh no, there's these other 3s. The 7, there's other 7s. The 8s, wait. The 9s are almost interesting. The 9 has to be one of these two for this column. Crap. The 9s were almost helpful. Alright, let's click on the 9s. Do I see anything? No. 5, 6, 5, 6, 1, 2, 1, 2. Wait, 9. No. Wait, 4. No. Wait, 5. No. But there is a 5 right here. So total, we need 3, 5, 7, 9. 3, 5, 7, 9. 3, 5, 7, 9. Not particularly helpful, sadly. 2, 9, 2, 9. Two. Okay, so here we're missing 2, 4, 7, 9. Wait, that could be helpful. So 2 and 9 are over here. 4, no, that's like all of them. Wait, the 7s. So you can't be a 7. You're a 3 or a 9. 2, 4, 7, 9. Which kind of tells me that you have to be a 7, doesn't it? It does. You have to be a 7. There's a 5 right here. 5, 3, 9. I feel like that has to tell me something, but maybe not. So we just got a 7. Did that help? In some way? Not sure. This one. 2, 3, 4, 9. 2, 9. 2, 3, 9. 4, 3, 4, 3. 1, 5, 1, 5. 6, 9. 169. Does that tell me something? No, because this could be a 6, this can be a 1. I don't think that helps. The 2 of these have the 5 in it. I don't think that helps. Hmm. 5, 6, 7. Let's look at these 9s again. So we know that there's 2 9s right here. Or there's 1 9 between the 2 of these. We know there's 2 and 9. We know there's 1 and 5. None of these help me. There's something I'm missing. There's probably an easy thing that I'm missing. There's 6s right here. Wait a second. Wait a second. No, that's not true. There could be 6s in a bunch of places. Sadly. Huh. I say that, but there has to be a 2 between these two. I feel like these 5s are messing with me. This 5 being in a different line. We know that there's 3, 4, 5, 6. And then there's these 8s. 3, 5, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. It's got all of them. It's too many. 2, 3, 9. 3, 4, 3, 4, 9. So we need a 5 between these two. We need a 3 and we need a 9. None of these help. We need either you or you are the 2. Either you or you are the 2. I feel like I could brute force it, but I don't want to do that. I'm already cheating enough. 2, 3, 7, 4, 6. There's a 4 here. There's a 4 here. There's a 1, 5, 1, 5, 9, 9, 8, 8. Another 1. Hmm. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's so many spots that could be a 6 in here. There's 2 spots that could be a 9. One, 2. You 2 can be a 3. You 2 can be a 3. 4. There are multiple places that could be a 4. We've already got the 5, the 6. The 7s. There are 2 spots that could be a 7. The 9. There are 3 spots, sadly, that could be a 9, which doesn't help me. This one down here could be a 9, or these 3 could be a 9. I wonder if it remembers my changes. So if I turn off this 1, oh, it does. So if I screwed something up, then it would be screwed up for good. 789, 89, 78. One and 8, 1 and 8. I feel like this should be doable. This 3, this 3, this 6, this 6. But there's another 2 6s right there. The 3s are actually interesting. The 4s are kind of interesting. So for this column, we already know where the 3s are. Wait, the 2. The 2 is, oh, almost super interesting. Okay, so we know where the 2s are. We know where the 3s are. We know where the 4s are. We know where the 7s are. That doesn't help. We know where the 6s are. 6 and 9. 2 and 6. We know there has to be a 2 in one of these two for this square, which means that these 2s are already done. Two in one of these two. 7 can be in a lot of spots. 3 in one of these two. 1 in one of these two. So we know where the 1s are. We know where the 8s are. We know where the 2s are. We know where the 3s are. What about the 4s? We know where the 4s are. The 5s. The 5s can be any of these 3. 6s. Wait. Oh no. If it wasn't for these 6s, would that be helpful? Kind of. Wait. I can say something about the 6s. Okay, because of these 2 6s, I can say that you're not a 6. And I can say that you're not a 6. So now we know that this is 4 6 and this is 4 6. So you're not a 5. How does that help? Don't know yet. 5 7 3 7. Okay, so I had made it all the way up to the 6s. The 7s, there are too many of them. The 8s have to be here and here, so we have the 1 in the 8s. The 9 we already have. The 1 in the 8. One, 5, 1, 5, 9. So one of these two is the 9. One of these two is the 5. There are 3 spots total. And they have to have the 5, they have to have the 9. Just on the outside part. This can have the 1, the 4, the 6, the 8. Huh. The 5 and the 9 on the outside feels important. Does that mean that this can't be a 1? No. But I do think that maybe you can't be an 8. No, it's not true. Because this could be an 8, this could be a 5, this could be a 9, and then this could be the 1. All we know for sure is that there's a 5 and a 9 in this row. And they're not in these 3 spots. These three spots are the 1 or the 6 or the 8. God, if I could rule out one of those numbers, that feels like it would be helpful. 1 or the 8. The 1 and the 5, the 1 and the 5. 1 and the 5, the 1 and the 5. The 1 and the 2, the 1 and the 2. 5, 6, 5, 6. I'm already at 26 minutes, so this took me way longer than when I tried it off video before. 479, 479. 2, 2. Okay, so those are the only 2s. Those are the only 2s. Does that tell me something? Does that mean that I can rule out this 4? And if so, would that be helpful? Think about that for a second. Why would that be the case? Because, no. That would only be the case if I knew that there had to be a 4 either here or here, but there can be a 4 here. You can be a 2 or a 9. You can be a 2 or a 9. If you're a 2, no, if you're a 9, then you would have to be a 2. If you're a 2, then you could be a 9, or you could be a 4, you could be a 9. Okay, got it. One 5, 1 6. Am I missing something obvious? The obvious thing would be if there's one of them where only one number is lit up, like this 8. Or where like there's only one spot out of the 9 that has that number. But that could be in a square of 9, or it could be in a row or a column. Either of those. But this one's hard, so they're not going to give me something simple like that. Unless they do. And I just don't see it. I do see 3 5s right here. I also see 3 1s right here, but that doesn't help as much. 1 and a 2. So between these 4, there has to be a 1 in here. There has to be a 5 in here, I think. Wait, if there has to be a 5 in here, then I can rule out the other 5s, can't I? Think so. Does there have to be a 5 in here? There does. You can't be a 5. 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 Which kind of means that one of you two has to be a 5. Or one of you two has to be a 5. Is it similar with the 9s? No. I don't think so. With the 2s, there's a 2 between these two. So we know there's a 2, a 2, a 2, a 2. You're either a 1 or a 5. If you were a 5, you would be a 1. Wait. If you're a 5, oh, then you would be a 5. If you were a 5, then you would be a 5. God, if I could just get the 5. Then everything else falls together. So we should work on getting that 5. To do that. 2, 5, 7. 5, 7. 1, 8. These two 1s right here. I don't know enough about them. All right, we have 4 numbers here, but there can't be 4. There's only room for 3 of them right here. And we know nothing. This could be a 1 up here, so I can't rule out the 1s. We know that there's a 5 in here. We know that the 9 might not be in here. The 3 might not be in here. Not helpful. We need a 3 in here. We need a 3 in here. Here, let's click on the 3s. Where else do we need a 3? Need a 3 in here. 3, 3. Wait. That's actually helpful, I think. Is it? No, because it's both of these. Darn. So we do need a 3 right here. I also need a 9 in there, but that 9 could be a bunch of spots. Sadly, that's not super helpful. What else do I need in there? Ooh, the 1. Need a 1 in there. Need a 6 in here. The 2 could be right here or right here. 2 could be right here or right here. 2 could be right here or right here. 2 could be right here or right there. There are 4 spots that a 2 could be. And 2 of them have to actually have it. So it's either this one and this one, or this one and this one. There's got to be a way to determine which one it is. The 6s. So we know that there's a 6 here. There are tons of places that could be 1s. Wait. There's only 2 places that can be a 4, though. And there's only 2 places that can be a 6, which tells me the answer. Wait, is that true? So you're not an 8. You're not a 3. You're not a 1. Because we need the 4 and the 6 to be right here. Yeah, okay, wait, that's super helpful. Is it? Undo, 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 undo. Wait. What did I just do? Redo. Okay, we determined that these have to be 4 and 6, but wait, what did I just do right here? I just undid something that I didn't mean to do. I don't know. I went too far back. So those are 4 and 6s. Surprisingly not that helpful. Oh, we determined that these are 5, right? Yeah, because we needed a 5 in here, so I ruled out this 5. So now, the 4 and the 6, the 1, 3, 5, the 7s, Yeah, but there's another 7 right there. The 5s. The 1s. The 1 and the 5. So this has to be a 1 and a 5, and this has to be the other 1 and 5, I think. Is that true? Not necessarily. Because this could be a 5. This could be a 1. This could be a 1. And this could be a 1. But that's not true because there's only one place that the 8 can be. The 8 has to be right here. 8, which makes this a 1, which makes this an 8, which simplifies everything. I think that just solved it all. 5. Or at least it got me very close. 9. No, I think that was it. 7. So it's finding that one piece that gets all of the rest of it to collapse in. And then once you got that, it's all solved. 1, 3, 4, 6, 2, 1, 4, 9, 2, 9, 3, 9, 2, 1, 8, 5, 1, 2, 7, which means that you're a 5. These are still a pain, but only for a second. 6, 1, 5, 9, 4, 7. That took me way longer. Maybe I still like that because then I'm not searching for all the candidates. All I'm doing is trying to figure out the logic. I don't know which I prefer. Maybe I'll alternate between the two. I could try. I feel like I'd be struggling forever if I did a hard with filling in the candidates myself. Tomorrow, well, that'll be a ways away because it's just after midnight now. Well, it's a ways after midnight. It is 1:19 a.m. All right. Tomorrow, on the 2nd, the plan will be to do a medium one without the auto candidate. See how I do. But for now, that is going to do it for this video. Did anybody say hi? Try to reduce time under a minute with auto. Got close to that. Also, sleepy 1 hour too late to see your new year. That is, you're barely late. What do you mean? 1 a.m. I don't know what time it is. You've told me time zones. I mix it up. Everybody has different time zones. But yeah. How did people do? Got in the last one. Got in second to last one. Got in third to last one. I already forgot what the word was. That was like hours ago, and that went super quick. All right. That is going to do it for this video. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.